Hello again. I think it's fair to say that for most people in this country, Easter is a collection of traditional customs rather than a celebration of the supposed resurrection of Jesus following his execution by the Romans 2,000 years ago. It has more to do with chocolate eggs, bunny rabbits, and the Wizard of Oz being shown on television than it does reflecting upon the state of our immortal souls. In short, it has little or nothing to do with religion. It is a purely cultural event. I'm happy with that. What I do find curious, though, is the way that the cultures of other ethnic groups now seem to be taking preference over our own traditions. We have seen, of course, the Ramadan lights in London's West End, and a few days ago, the Hindu festival of Holi was celebrated. This entails throwing powdered paint around. I need hardly say that I have not the slightest objection to Hindus doing this, any more than I mind Jews celebrating Pesach or Muslims Ramadan. I cannot help but notice, though, that while uniformed police officers on duty would not be taking part in a religious service to mark Easter, they are quick to dive in and observe Holi. The thumbnail to this video shows a police officer in Swindon who has been joining in the Hindu celebrations which mark Holi. Just look at the state of him. He has been dancing and getting involved with throwing powdered paint around. Two things strike me about this. The first is that he doesn't look to me the way that I would prefer to see a police officer on duty. He looks more like a play worker in a creche. No wonder the yobbos and feral types who are taking over the streets of our cities are no longer afraid of the police. I don't blame them. The second point is that I would not be all that keen either on seeing a police officer in uniform showing his partiality for this or that religion, whether it's Hinduism or any other. Our police are supposed to be neutral and not have a preference for one religion or ethnicity or culture over another. Can you imagine that this officer would put on a kippah and join in publicly in Jewish prayers? I can't. Would a police officer be joining in a procession of Christians witnessing for Jesus and taking his helmet off to join in a public act of worship? Of course not. But religions from South Asia and the Middle East, which are practiced by people with brown skin, are all the rage, so we are fine about their displaying a liking for Islam or Hinduism. In this way, we see the double standards operated by the British police. We see that they lean in one direction, politically, culturally, and religiously. I cannot myself think this wise. Whatever my own religious beliefs, I would like to think that the police are beyond factionalism and will treat all cultures the same. Let me leave you with a final thought. Celebrating wins at football, especially winning some trophy or other, is part of our cultural traditions. Crowds often behave boisterously at such events, spraying drinks around and getting quite excited. Hugging each other, laughing. Has anybody ever seen a police officer charged with maintaining order at such an event joining in an unrestrained fashion? Shouting, swigging fizzy drinks, or embracing others who are wildly enthusiastic about the fact that their team has won the cup? No, of course not. What about dancing at the Notting Hill Carnival or throwing paint around during Holi? Yes. Why is it that other cultures are allowed to be celebrated in this way, but traditional British ones are regarded in quite a different light? Why are the police showing partiality in this way?